let's go ahead and take a look at your week 1 work. So this work is really important because it's going to serve as kind of a litmus test for us to look at, how we drew at the beginning of the class versus how our skills have grown throughout the rest of the class. And I guarantee you are just going to be so blown away at what you can do over the next 8 weeks. So the biggest thing that we want to look at here is proportions. And this is one of the hardest things for students, when they're in that week 1 is just figuring out how to get proportions right. And we tend to look at elements of the face as being all kind of distinct and separate, where I want you to start looking at them as being, the smaller parts that make up the whole. This is called the gestalt, and something we're going to talk about, I think, in weeks 5 or 6. So start looking at, for the mouth example, how wide is the mouth compared to the nose? Maybe where the eyes are placed compared to the actual top of the head and the chin line, kind of softening this up a bit. But these are all things that we're going to, be learning about and working on throughout the next 8 weeks. Even, hair, how to play with textures. And also then with shadows, a lot of the times features are made not by, distinct lines, but by the transition from light to dark. So like the bridge of your nose, for example, if you look at a lot of different drawings, you'll notice that there aren't harsh lines, that it's just this variation that gives us the illusion of highlights and shadows that, show us where the nose and the bridge of the nose are. Noses are hard. So same thing here. Actually, proportion-wise, we're pretty good here. We may want to kind of, this part of the hand tends to be a little bit fuller. Sometimes the fingers, students tend to draw them real straight. And look at your fingers. They kind of have slight, curves and bends. Start, again, think of that, individual parts. So think of each knuckle individually. And then we want to work with shading as well, which is some things that we'll be learning about later on. This is really beautiful, this corner of the room. I can tell you got your ruler out, which I think is really smart. Working in interiors, this is something we did a lot, and to get those nice crisp straight lines. Actually really beautiful sense of linear perspective here, so really nice job there. And these of course are really fun, these little line drawing exercises, and I like your little birthday cake that we got going on. So overall, really nice work here. Keep it up and we'll keep growing on these skills.